You're told that this is the age where things finally click, where your career is established, your finances make sense, and the stress of your early 20s starts to fade. But when you look at the actual numbers, the reality is far more uncomfortable. Today, we're breaking down the shocking money stats of the average 30-year-old and why so many people feel exhausted, anxious, and behind, even when they did everything they were told to do. Let's start with income, because that's where most expectations begin. By age 30, many people expect to feel financially secure. Yet for a huge number of adults, income hasn't kept up with the cost of living. After taxes, rent or mortgage payments, insurance, transportation, groceries, and basic necessities, there's often very little left. On paper, the salary might look fine. In real life, it barely covers survival. This creates a quiet form of stress. You're not reckless. You're not irresponsible. You're just constantly one unexpected expense away from falling behind. And that feeling never fully goes away. Now add debt into the picture. By 30, many people carry multiple forms of debt at once. Student loans are still present for millions, even though they were told education was the path to stability. Credit card debt often isn't used for luxury. It's used for emergencies, groceries, or medical expenses. Car loans feel unavoidable because transportation is essential for work. Each payment seems manageable alone, but together they form a financial ceiling that limits every future decision. Savings tell an even harsher story. A large portion of 30-year-olds have less than a few $1,000s saved. Many have no emergency fund at all. That means a single car repair, medical bill, or job interruption can wipe out months of progress. Living like this creates constant mental pressure. You're not planning long-term. You're bracing for the next hit. Retirement savings add another layer of anxiety. Financial advice often says that by 30, you should already be investing and letting compound interest work in your favor. But that advice assumes extra money exists. For many people, it doesn't. When rent, debt, and daily expenses take everything, saving for a future decades away feels impossible, even irresponsible, when today isn't secure. Housing is where this pressure becomes unavoidable. Home ownership, once seen as a milestone of adulthood, now feels completely out of reach. Down payments take years to save, even with discipline. Mortgage payments are higher than rent in many areas. So people rent, but rent rises faster than income. Every year costs more, while progress stays the same. Now let's talk about life responsibilities, because this is where the numbers become personal. For many men, there's an unspoken expectation to provide, to be stable, to be dependable. Even if no one says it out loud, the pressure exists. Being behind financially doesn't just feel like a money issue, it feels like an identity issue. The desire to protect, support, and plan clashes with the reality of limited income and rising costs. That internal conflict creates shame that most men never talk about. But women face a different and equally heavy financial reality. By 30, many women are balancing careers with biological and social pressure around family. Pregnancy, childbirth, and caregiving often reduce income temporarily or permanently. Time away from work, part-time schedules, or career pauses can slow financial growth at the exact moment expenses increase. Even when women return to work, they often face wage gaps, limited flexibility, or reduced advancement opportunities. Childcare alone can cost as much as rent in some areas. Many women are forced to choose between earning income and being present for their children, a decision that has long-term financial consequences either way. And while society praises sacrifice, it rarely compensates it. There's also the mental load. Planning, budgeting, organizing, and emotional labor often fall disproportionately on women, even in dual-income households. That stress compounds when finances are tight. You're managing money while worrying about everyone else's well-being at the same time. Whether male or female, the result is the same: constant pressure, constant trade-offs, and very little margin for error. At the same time, people still want a life. By 30, most aren't chasing luxury, they're chasing comfort, safety, the ability to say yes without anxiety. But every purchase feels like a calculation. Every decision has consequences. Even joy starts to feel expensive. This pressure pushes people toward alternative paths, side hustles, online income, risky investments, gambling, get-rich-quick schemes. Not because people are naive, but because they're tired. When stability feels unreachable through traditional paths, shortcuts become tempting. Unfortunately, many of these paths make the situation worse, not better. What makes this entire situation more painful is how normalized it's become. Social media shows success highlights, not reality. People compare themselves to timelines that no longer apply. Everyone feels behind, but no one feels allowed to say it out loud. The truth is, this isn't just about budgeting better or working harder. Wages have not grown at the same pace as housing, education, healthcare, and daily living costs. Traditional financial advice assumes a surplus that no longer exists. You can't optimize your way out of a system that's structurally stretched. Understanding these numbers isn't about fear. It's about clarity. When you see the reality clearly, you stop blaming yourself for failing impossible expectations. You begin questioning the system instead of your worth. Because the real question isn't why so many 30-year-olds feel broke. The real question is whether the rules ever worked for this generation at all. And once you understand that, the next step isn't shame, it's strategy. So ask yourself this: are you behind? Or are you simply living in a world that changed faster than anyone admitted?